Welcome to another exciting episode of Monday Movie Pickup. Alright, so here's Monster Squad. This is the second Blu-ray release that they did of this film. They actually it might have been the 20th anniversary edition, and it was actually this DVD. This actually has both DVDs put inside. This was the release done by Lionsgate, and it was also released on Blu-ray, but now the Blu-ray and the DVD go for way expensive, so I instead decided just to keep the two DVDs in here, the other one's on the other side, which has all the special features, and I bought the Monster Squad Blu-ray that was released by Paramount through a company called Olive Films. So yeah, basically I have the Blu-ray now, so if I want to watch it in better quality, I don't know what the difference between this Blu-ray copy and the 20th anniversary Blu-ray edition, what the differences will be, but basically I wanted a higher quality version and I wanted all the special features. I have everything, whatever. Maybe I'll get lucky and find a 20th anniversary Blu-ray someday. But here's the Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So this is Leatherface, not the 2017 Leatherface. This was done by the Warner Archive collection. I think this is the first Warner Archive Blu-ray that I've bought. They've been doing a lot of these lately, which is really nice. They've been releasing a lot of more obscure Warner Brothers or anything that they own movies on Blu-ray, and they still come with special features, which is awesome. Good on them for doing that. And I actually also got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. So this is the prequel to the 2003 remake. So basically with that, I now have every single Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. So it'll be great to finally give them all a watch. Right here is Hammer Horror, the 8-film collection. So this is the one that was done by Universal, and I believe this comprises every single Hammer Horror film that they still had the rights to. And yeah, there's a bunch on here. Brides of Dracula, the sequel to Horror of Dracula that doesn't have Dracula in it, and Evil of Frankenstein, and just a bunch of other random Hammer Horror films. I've been trying to get more into Hammer Horror, but it's extremely difficult to do so since so many of their movies are just released in random compilations, or some of the Blu-rays are only in UK, some of them are too expensive. The DVDs especially just go out of print nowadays. Yeah, you get a bunch of different movies on here. This came out a couple years ago. I finally bought it. Maybe I'll buy the Hammer Horror Volume 1 set from Warner Brothers also. They've been releasing some of the Dracula films through the Warner Archive collection also. So maybe eventually we will get every single Hammer Horror film on Blu-ray. But in one big set, probably not. Here's Swordfish. So this is a movie that has John Travolta and Hugh Jackman, and for me that's all I needed. That's all you really need in the movie to make me want to watch it. I had never heard of it actually. This movie is from 2001, so definitely gonna give it a watch eventually. We got Rebecca here. Now this is the Hitchcock film. This is now, I believe this was the 5th Hitchcock film to be released through the Criterion collection. I have the 4-film set that they had released a couple of years ago, and then they recently released this one. They also, the most recent release is The Lodger, which also comes with his other film Downhill on it, a bunch of silent movies. And I'm expecting that they'll be doing some more in the future. They're doing Notorious as well. I'm sure Spellbound will be on that list eventually. A lot of Hitchcock films are starting to get on Blu-ray. Not his public domain silent films. A lot of those are still pretty much the standard bad-looking DVD releases that any company can make. But we got a bunch through Warner Archive, we got a bunch through Universal, we have the Paramount ones released, and we're starting to get these earlier films released also. So pretty soon we'll have just about everything on Blu-ray. That's Hitchcock. My Fair Lady. No, this has the same packaging as those Diamond Lux editions that were released a couple years ago by, it was Warner Brothers that released them. This is actually a Paramount release, but it uses the exact same packaging. And this is a huge set that comes with, you know, the DVD, but this comes with 2-disc Blu-ray as well. And I think this is the best way to get all the special features for this classic film. And then, last but not least, we have Classic Comedy Teams collection. So this is just a bunch of movies that I believe either MGM or Warner Brothers had the rights to, and they released as one big set. So it comes with 2 Laurel and Hardy films, 3 Stooges films, and 2 Abbott and Costello films. And they put 2 movies in one disc. I gotta say, you know, I watched this one, which it was all right. It was had its funny moments, but it had a lot of racist moments in it too. And I watched this one. This is probably the worst Laurel and Hardy film I've ever seen. And then you got these ones. These are sort of the more obscure Abbott and Costello films, and from what I've heard, they're not really their best ones either. So basically, Warner Brothers had the rights to do all these. They released this set in 2006. None of these have hit Blu-ray. I kind of doubt they will. And I'm kind of wanting to buy that Abbott and Costello Universal collection, which comes with 28 of the Universal films. And then they only had a couple other movies from different studios, and this was one of them. So I bought this set also because it was an upgrade, because I owned Abbott and Costello in Hollywood. But all of these movies aren't that great. So yeah, they released this, you know, and they just had the rights to them. So they're like, hey, let's make this cool collection of these movies, but they're pretty much crap. These are pretty much the worst of all these comedy teams films, which is too bad. But if you're a completionist, I'd still get it just for that, because it's pretty good for the price. And that's everything I got this week. Definitely will be back next week.
Thank you for watching the video. A special thanks to Chris, Lucas, and Ryan for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to be like them and get exclusive access to content and blogs, and even request reviews monthly, please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for your support.